and I
Okay, good morning, everyone. It is going to be 9 o'clock. Jimmy, we're good, up and running. Welcome, everybody. Thank you, Lord, for the rain. I'm glad that we have folks coming out despite the rain, and I hope it continues. We do have a quorum present. We are short, and we'll continue to keep Shelby, Commissioner Dupnick in our prayers. Like I said, we do have a quorum present, so let's stand for our prayer and our pledge, and we'll get started. Lord, we come for you now. We thank you so much for this day. And like I said, I thank you for the rain. I know that ranchers, farmers and ranchers, we need it, and the lawns need it. And so we thank you for it, and we thank you for the rain that's continuing to come. We ask that you keep Shelby in your loving arms and your care. Be with him as he goes through his medical struggles, and place your healing hand on him. You are the great physician, and we know that, and we trust that, Lord. Help us, Lord, as we go through this agenda to make decisions that are pleasing to you, Lord. We ask this in your name. Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic of one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. Okay, Ms. Weezy, do we have any citizens that would like to be heard this morning? Mr. Shockme got one bad wing. Come on up.
Good morning. Well, I was hoping I'd get a little wetter on the way in, but it took a break, so. I just have a couple of concerns. One of them being this on down here on 12B, these budget amendments and stuff that we've been looking at when it comes to road and bridge. I think the move that we did on that building ended up being kind of more or less forced on us, but whether it was needed or not, the planning on it is pretty evident that there wasn't much of it. There's not any follow through hardly at all, flying by the seat of your pants. That goes hand in hand with, in my opinion, the way some of the rest of it's being dealt with. You got extra money left from fuel. Well, why is that? I know the ditches need mowing. We shorthanded on, I guess, operators for that. I'm under the impression some of that comes from they're using some of the CDL drivers that they cross-trained over into doing office work, which there's nothing wrong with that. I think, if that's necessary, that's fine. But I think that transportation industry, period, is shorthanded. And I don't think that was a good move to have somebody moved from a CDL seat over to doing something in the office. That's just my opinion. But when you look at what's going on out there, and I got 2-foot spots on getting chipped away on the county road that state helped pay pavement for, and I think y'all guys really need to take a serious look at what's going on inside that road and bridge. Start looking at the numbers. Y'all do not, in my opinion, follow. Yeah, we hired him to do the job. How much time I got left? Okay, thank you. I know y'all hired him to do a job, and I get that. But where's the trust but verify? Where's the follow-up? He come up here, didn't even have an idea where stuff was. Y'all asked him one time, 3 different times to bring up information. Y'all should have had that information. Does he update y'all on stuff, the critical stuff, the money? He's a salary employee. If he's making mistakes, y'all should know about it. Y'all should catch him on it and help him with it, help him figure it out. It's a boat with a lot of holes in it. I don't know if there's enough fingers to poke the holes, but I'm gonna tell y'all something. I think you're going to be real surprised. Take a good look at it. That's all I'm going to say. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Any others signed up to speak this morning, Ms. Sweezy? None? Okay, then we're going to move to item number 6, discuss, approve, disapprove the presentation of Karnes County local match commitment / requirement for Camino Real Community Services for fiscal year 2025 and approval of the same. Sherry Boucher. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Good morning, and I'm not Sherry Boucher.
No.
I'm actually Veronica Sanchez. I'm the Executive Director for Camino Real Community Services. I'm here today to provide a little bit of information. First and foremost, I do want to thank you for the support that you've provided us over the years that we've been community center. We are one of 39 local mental health, local intellectual and developmental disability centers in the state of Texas. We have a 9-county region, with Karnes County being one of those regions. We have an office located on Main Street in Kennedy. And we'll be soon adding, because we were the successful recipients of a grant that was specifically written for Karnes County, so we will be adding additional supports to the community, really trying to address the behavioral health needs, the mental health needs that we're seeing nationally, I think across the United States, with Texas being just as affected as any other state. And just want to make sure that we're trying to get every avenue possible to be able to cover the needs of the different communities. Karnes has several staff that we've deployed here that are officed out of that Kennedy location. And with this, we'll be adding how many new staff? At least 5? 4 or 5 new employees for the region. The state of Texas requires, through the Health and Safety Code, for each sponsoring county to provide what we call either in-kind support through provision of a building, office space, and/or cash support. Karnes County has provided the cash. Camino Real pays for the office space. We're probably paying a little bit over $60,000 annually, plus the cost of the employees. So today I am requesting, and had sent communication earlier in the form of a letter, to request an increase to the match that you've been providing, and hoping that you will give it strong consideration. I think some of the data that Deanne Poppy is our Mental Health Services Director. She went through a lot of detail, a lot of work just to compile the data. And if you take a look at the little blue report, you'll find the information in there. We actually had another document specific to Karnes County, but I think it's missing from the packet. Is it? Because I forgot what I think it said, for every dollar you contribute, you'll get back at least $43 because of the cost of care. We pay for hospitalization for individuals that need inpatient psychiatric treatment, and that runs us, currently it's running a little bit less than $800 a day, but it's still a hefty fee. And then we do offer 24/7 mobile crisis outreach activities. So anything else you want to add? Do you have any questions for the two of us?
I think this is probably the first time the commissioners have seen the total amount. And so it is a significant increase. That's not to say that I don't support Camino Real in all y'all do. We see it in our jail. We see it in our community. Ms. Tapia and I see it every Monday in court. So I'm going to let the commissioners look through this, and if they have any discussion or questions for you.
I think one more comment is we're struggling in Karnes County, so we're having to pay significantly more for salaries in this area. It doesn't matter whether it's custodian, receptionist, case manager, the wages have gone up significantly for Karnes. I guess your partner county would be Frio County's experiencing the same struggles. It's costing a lot more.
Manny, so this is very new to me, but the amount you're requesting, is that coming from all the other counties that are partnered? Like, do y'all go to each one of them and ask that? Okay.
Maybe I do have the information.
There's a list in there. I just wanted to make sure that,
Yes, and I'm going to give you an example. I was in Wilson County yesterday. Wilson County's match is probably a little bit over 100,000. They provide our office, the physical location for our adult program. So their value is at about 153,000. If we were having to pay rent for the same space based on fair market, they're contributing about 150. Dimmitt County pays cash. Zavala County also, I mean, we have 9 counties, so I have to go to every 9 counties and request the support from the county as a sponsoring.
and it's all the same, though,
No, the dollar amounts vary. What we do is we split it up based on population size. So based on our 9 counties, how they add up, and then we get, the state of Texas gives us state general revenue. They gave us around 600,000 to serve children in all 9 counties, which is not a lot of money. And then a little bit over 3 million for the adult population, and that's in all 9 counties. So we take the census and then divvy it up.
services that y'all provide. And it's, I think it's money well spent.
The increase that y'all have this year, it's on a percentage basis to all the counties the same, or each one was different, the increase on each
It's
county,
different
Dep-
per county.
depending on the population?
Correct. And then, too, if we're doing something different, like, for example, in Atascosa County, we have opened a substance use disorder office and it's unfunded by the state, so we are asking for help on offset of the rent because we had to open a separate office. So there's going to be an increase asked of Atascosa County judge as well.
and so this increase, does it provide you guys to continue to grow? Or is it like new services, new opportunities for you guys in different counties, or is it just keeping y'all afloat?
This is really keeping us afloat, but coincidentally, we are starting we just received notice from the state of Texas that they approved our grant application for a very Karnes County specific program. That part of that, it was referred to as a community mental health grant. It was a competitive grant in the state, and we had to make an application. That particular grant requires a 25% match. And so we're trying to come up with bits and pieces, not only for just regular cost of living, but just the offset of that new program as well.
What was the total amount of the grant we received?
About a little over 400,000 per year. Really is going to be a good program because it would allow us to be able to respond or create services in a way that, if you've ever heard from Sheriff Villanueva, who actually attends our board meetings routinely, some of the feedback we get is we keep seeing the same people, we send them out, they come into jail. We get them to a hospital, and it's just that revolving door. So hopefully this program with the staff that we bring in will be able to, I don't know if we want to call it like community outreach, but I go to you before you come to me. I start looking for you with mental health deputies and very specific crisis-trained responders to anticipate that they're going to come back. It's, like try to capture them and address the person's needs before we, have to bring them back. Because every time you book someone in jail, the expense for that. This design of this program hopefully reduce that, what a recidivism rate, return rate, whatever you want to refer to it as. But we're hoping that if we go to them, it'll start decreasing the amount of times they have to get booked into a jail. And these are individuals with either mental health or substance use needs that we're going to try to bring in the support for that.
Our county jails all over the state of Texas and probably in the nation are the largest mental health hospitals, essentially, just because there's no services out there.
Absolutely. And so I think that's where Health and Human Services or the state of Texas through legislation very specifically designed requests for applications that were focused on really reducing emergency department usage, jail usage, getting people to the right place at the right time, and trying to prevent this repetition just because, get them into the right care so that they don't end up in your jails getting mental health treatment. It's just not, it's not appropriate.
Just for transparency, the previous match that we did last year, a cash match was $28,728. The request this year for the public is for $43,000. So it's what, 12,000, 14,000, 13,000 plus increase.
And we will work even harder for that money.
Judge, I'd like to make a motion to approve the commitment requirement for community reality services for fiscal year 2025.
The amount of 43,000.
43,000, what was it?
I think it's 43,000 even.
Cash.
40,000 even.
Seconded.
Okay, got a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Anybody opposed to that? Motion carries.
Thank you so much for your support.
Thank you.
I'll get this signed, and then Carol will have a copy for y'all, okay?
Appreciate it.
Yes, thank y'all. Okay, item number 7, discuss, approve, disapprove, engage professional services of Armstrong, Vaughn and Associates, PC for fiscal year 2024 audit. The fee is not to exceed $38,500. Tom, is that what we paid last year too?
Yes,
A little
Judge.
less than that.
Normally, they come in less than that because some of the work I do in our office, and we brought them on. Fiscal year '21 was the first audit they did for us, and we worked great with them. They've done 3 audits. All our findings have been none,
Yeah.
basically, and they work good with all our elected officials and department heads. So I recommend that we engage with them again.
I agree. I like this company. They do a good job for us.
Make the motion to approve item number 7 as presented.
I'll second it.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Bill. Item number 8, see Casey walking up here. So to discuss, approve, disapprove the proposal by Professional Services Industries Incorporated, PSI, in the amount of $4,400 for a geotechnical exploration of the proposed site for the EMS Joint Training and Emergency Operations Center, and allow EMS Chief to accept and authorize the proposal. If approved, the services will be expensed from GL 100-500-5731. Chief?
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. So this is the second of 2 owner responsibilities when it comes to the pre-design phase for the EMS Training and Emergency Operations Center that we're currently in design phases for with Raleigh and McCoy out of Victoria. The geotechnical firm, PSI, will come recommended from Raleigh and McCoy out of Victoria. They have a strong working relationship with that engineering firm. Furthermore, they provided the proposed site layout to PSI so that they can, within reason, get 3 core samples, of which will be 20 feet in depth. So just looking for approval for the expense of $4,400 to pay for that. And then within the next week or two, they'll be on site to conduct those 3 samples and subsequent testing.
Casey asked me about bringing this to court, and I don't believe that we necessarily needed to bring it to court, but I want it to be very transparent, what we're doing going forward with this EMS Special Ops Center and training. And with what we are experiencing with the annex down the sidewalk, I believe this geotechnical engineering study can prevent a lot of things going forward.
Absolutely. And in our current facility we sit in today, we did the same thing back in 2012, and it's yielded, knock on wood, yielded good results for us, so.
Casey,
Yes, sir.
if you don't mind, I'm sorry. This is part of the RFQ deal that you presented last time?
Yeah, so
This falls underneath that, right?
say that again, I'm
This
sorry?
falls underneath that?
Correct, yeah, so in the AIA agreement that we have with Raleigh and McCoy, there were 2 owner responsibilities, of which one was a property and boundary survey, which has been completed, and then this geotechnical survey. Everything else is within the fee structure with Raleigh and McCoy for the design phases. Great question.
Thank you.
I'll make the motion to approve item number 8 as presented.
Second.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Anybody opposed? Motion
Thank you,
carried. Thank you. Item number 9 this morning, discuss, approve, disapprove the list of eligible ballot board workers approved by the election board for presiding judges and alternate judges for a 2-year term from August 2024 to July 2026. Beth?
Good morning, Court and Judge.
Good
How are
morning.
you? Doing good, I hope. So this morning I have a list you have in your packet that was approved for all the workers from the ballot board, and the background check was done, and that is the list that's verifying from the sheriff that, yes, they've all been approved for that. And then from that list, if you'll look under the ballot board section, those are the names of just the judges and alternate judges that would be working for the ballot board. They are current ballot board judges and alternate judges, so nothing has changed since the last 2 years. And so they just would, we would recommend, and the board recommend that they would continue on in those capacities. So the names of the members would be Stacy Mika, Ramona Noon, Susan Poole, Magdalena Ibarra. Any questions on those? And just to let you know that this is I don't know in the past, I don't think we've formally have done that since, I think, 2022, but this is something that does need to always be brought up and brought to Commissioners Court, approved for them to be on the board. So it is in the election code to have this brought to the Commissioner.
The motion to approve item number 9 is presented.
Second.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Item number 10, discuss, approve, disapprove list of workers approved by the election board to be election night central count station, presiding judge and alternate judges for a 2-year term from August 2024 to July 2026.
And now, from that same list, you'll have I have the title CCS, which is the abbreviation for Central Count Station. For those of you, just as an info, Central Count Station is developed for all of the polling locations to bring back their items, and we actually do the count. So it's a central count station. We have a couple clerks that we have work that volunteer and do get paid, but mainly it is a volunteer's position. And then we have the judges and presiding judge and alternate judges. The law states that we need to have a presiding judge. So when we met, the board met, we went over and I recommended that we have, in addition to the presiding judge, we have an alternate judge there as well. Just in case something happens that night and the presiding judge couldn't make it or something happens, and we would have an alternate judge to be available to go over and take up the duties of that presiding judge. So that is something that is not mandatory by the law. It's just a good practice. So I've brought it to the board. We all agreed that we could implement that addition. So the names on there are Stacy Mika, Susan Poole, and Magdalena Ibarra. And just to let you know, on Central Count Station night, we usually only have just one presiding judge. And that judge is responsible for the whole entire count, not me. I run it, but they're the ones that are, ultimately, they are working with me, and they are the presiding judge for that part of the election.
Judge, I make a motion to approve item number 10 as presented.
Second?
Motion and a second. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Beth, item number 11 is to discuss, approve, disapprove the list of eligible election workers approved by the election board for election day, presiding judges and alternate judges for appointment for a 2-year term from August 2024 to July 2026.
Okay, so now on that same list that the sheriff had sent over, that item is called the election workers. Those are all of the workers. Those aren't the judges. From those list of election workers, I prepared for you a list of presiding judges and alternate judges and the locations that they would be assigned to. Some of our judges and alternate judges do prefer and specify that they want to work at only some locations. And so that's why I went ahead and put that out as well. We don't have to work them at those locations, but we just have some that prefer. And just to let you know, from the list of the election workers, we do not have any spare judges or alternate judges that are trained as judges. So if any of these were not able to work, that's something that we would have to bring to the board and add. But of all of the list of those election workers, these 18 are the only ones that want to be judges and alternate judges and have been trained in that
No
capacity.
problem with Margie Tamez being alternate judge at St. Cornelius and Runge Public Library?
I'm sorry, what was that?
So Margie Tamez is an alternate for St. Cornelius Catholic Church as well as Runge
Oh,
Public
I
Library.
am so sorry. That is a typo. I always mix up Margie Tamez and Ms. Gamez, Laura Gamez. Should be-
Laura will be
Yes.
for St. Cornelius, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Okay.
Good catch there, Judge. And I feel so bad because I always mix those up when even in person, I'll say, oh, wait, no.
Make the motion to approve item number 11 as presented
And amended?
and amended.
I'll second it.
Okay, motion and a second. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Beth.
Thank you.
And item number 12, we have our consent agenda. We have reports from our Justice of the Peace Precinct 2, District Clerk, Elections, EMS, Constable Precinct 1, and our DMV. We also have on B, our budget amendments, 2024-15 in the amount of $15,000 for Road and Bridge 200-680-3553, and 2024-16, $52,000 Road and Bridge 200-680-4606. The 15,000 I think was for uniform, and I don't remember exactly what the 52,000 was for. Oh, but yeah.
I'll make the motion to approve the consent agenda, including the reports and the budget amendments.
I'll second that.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Anybody opposed? I'm opposed to the B budget amendments. Discussed that last meeting, so. Motion carries 4-1 for the item number 13, to discuss any items from the consent agenda to be considered and acted upon. Any from the court? If none, we will move to item number 14, updates from our commissioners. Commissioner Dupnick and I did talk to Shelby last week. We are working on generators. Casey and I are working on generators, and we put together, Casey generously put together a budget for the rest of our ARPA monies that I'll be presenting to the court through our budget. And Tom, I think that you have that already. Keep Shelby in your prayers. I talked to Gretchen last night, and he's still got a long road to hoe, so keep him in your prayers. Commissioner Precinct 2.
Okay, we got the County Road 211s. There's some dips where the culverts across the road, and they've been repaired, and shredding is done on it. Paving will start on County Road 228 as soon as weather permits. And the shredding east of Falls City is complete, and we'll be moving to the west side. County Roads 207, 189, 216, 211, patching and repairs will start probably this next week, weather permitting. Been working with Commissioner Rosales and Renee, our maintenance supervisor, on monitoring the humidity and the problem we have in the courthouse and the annex building. And then JP3, monitoring the water that's seeping up through the floor. And he's treating it with a mild bleach and keeping it clean. They've attended to all the mold problems we had, and because of all the moisture in the buildings. And let's see, Renee's got the 2 doors installed on the election storage building. That's 90% complete, and the fundraiser in Sestahova last Saturday night was a success. And then Sunday morning, we had a Knights of Columbus fundraiser, and they served 800 fried chicken plates. And so that was a big success. That's all I got for today.
All right, Commissioner Rosales.
I had several meetings with our engineer regarding county roads, met with Commissioner Chu regarding several county projects. Also went to College Station last week and attended the conference and received 13 hours of continued education for the county. And that's all I have.
Okay, Commissioner Geith.
Also had a couple of meetings with the road and bridge engineer, in particular on County Road 319, with also a constituent. There's a site obstruction that we're working on getting their approval to go in and address. They were very gracious to meet with us on that. Continue driving other county roads. There's a lot of flaking on the edges. I've reported that back to Road and Bridges Department. They'll be addressing that. I've met with Judge and also the Commissioner in Precinct 2 on a couple of projects I know we're kind of working on, and also Mr. Ibram as well on those. So that's all I have, Judge.
You did not meet with Commissioner Precinct 2 and myself? And
No.
individually?
No, I did that individually, yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Item number 15, discuss/acknowledgement of personnel changes. This is all departments. Let me get back to that.
And it was also separate projects.
I'm sorry?
Judge. There's also separate projects too.
Yes,
So just
yes,
Making
yes.
sure that's out.
I just wanted that to be clear. I do not do that.
Appreciate that.
Okay, here's our employment report. New hires, Blake Sanchez, Veteran Service Officer. Blake has hit it hard running, had an incredible first week and figuring some things out. So I encourage you all to pop in, say hi to Blake if you've not met him. Carolyn Hernandez is a new hire in the tax office. Abdul X-Man, Renee's got X-Man working for us with the maintenance department. And Erica Gutierrez came on with a full-time tax office deputy clerk. We had a maintenance transfer, and Mrs. Tapia is our new county attorney, not assistant county attorney anymore. We hadn't had any resignations or terminations, and Mr. David Chapman did retire, living the retired life now. We are currently hiring for the Road and Bridge Maintenance Tech 1. We have one position there. Road and Bridge Maintenance Equipment Operator. Karnes Wilson Juvenile Probation Department needs a case manager and a ropes facilitator too. Sheriff Patrol deputies, the sheriff here, I don't know how many, we're still short, 6 or 7, 8. Sheriff's Department, County Security. I think that we've got this job description about figured out, and we're gonna get with the sheriff-elect. We've talked about it some too. I think he's gone now, but Steve back there. But anyways, so courthouse security, I think, is gonna be something that y'all will see, or I know y'all will see it in the budget whenever we get that to y'all next week. Okay, item number 16, payment of bills.
Okay, Judge and Court. All right, the total bills for today is $1,159,297.42, which the majority of it is the block grant for the 5 houses that we're rebuilding. That was $742,591 for expenses out of that fund. And the road and bridge total was $284,421.55. General fund, $116,956.06.
We'll be reimbursed that, the money's.
We've got half of it last week, Judge,
Yeah.
by $460,000, if I recall.
Just so y'all know, that's not, the county's not building those houses, fully funding those houses, but still an incredible program. There was a article in the paper 2 or 3 weeks ago that had some pictures of the 5 houses, and I can't tell you how much those folks appreciate having a new home built. And they're nice. I mean, it's incredible how quick they build the houses. I think 45 days from demo to handing them the keys. It's really incredible, and it's a wonderful thing that the county does to support that. So Michelle does a lot of work for that. Thank you so much, Michelle. It is very time consuming. You have folks coming in and out, constantly bringing all the documentation, and she's faxing and working with the GLO. So thank you, Michelle, for handling that. It's a blessing.
And Judge of Court, we will still owe retainage on those 5 houses. I believe that's about, we're gonna still owe retainage on these houses. We haven't gotten the retainage bill yet, so I believe it's like $15,000
Yeah.
per house.
Yeah. Be 75.
Make the motion to approve payment of the bills as presented.
I'll second it.
Okay, you've got a motion and a second to pay the bills. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Anybody opposed? Item number 17, acknowledge Commissioners Court will meet on August 13th, 2024 at 9 o'clock in the morning, right here in our Karnes County Historic Courtroom at 101 North Penbury Avenue, Suite 200, Karnes City, Texas, 78118. Item number 18, need a motion to adjourn.
Second.
And